The S&P 500 is trading inside of this base formation from 406.15 support towards 411.34 resistance. So far, we retested 406.15 support from today's massive gap down from Thursday's closing price at 409.20 down to 406.15. And so far, we have filled the gap and come right back up above Thursday's closing session and looking good to continue to resume towards resistance retest at 411.34. So far, things are looking really good. And keep in mind, this move is coming after a massive rally imbalance where we went from 390 2 weeks ago now all the way up to established resistance at 411.34. So what is happening and where are we heading towards? Well, as I mentioned, since we retested support inside of this consolidation base at 406.15, we should see a retest at 411.34 resistance, very likely tomorrow, if not tomorrow, into Wednesday session. 1 hour before the closing session, we saw that the S&P 500 was very strong and consolidating for 2 hours after printing that massive bullish institutional candle. So what we did right here is we entered on our Discord, we entered SPY 409 calls expiring on April 14th, this Friday, in anticipation of the call going in the money when we reach our target resistance at 411.34. So far, this looks very likely going into either tomorrow or the following day. So going into tomorrow's session, I'm going to be long above 409.20 towards 411.34. If the market opens up at 409.20, I'm going to buy calls towards 411.34 in anticipation of retesting that resistance level right there. Now, team, there are several stocks that I'm watching to take advantage of this move towards 411.95 retest. One of them is Apple. We ended up buying Apple on this beautiful bullish ascending formation. We mentioned in our live session in Discord what bullish ascending formations are and how powerful they are. And the reason we entered this trade around here is because we will be anticipating a gap fill. Even if we don't get a gap fill at 164.62, which is a very high likely scenario that we're going to get it this week, we will be very happy with just retesting 163.15, which is the previous supply zone there. So even if we get a retest at 163.11, the options contracts that we grabbed for the swing trade, for Apple's swing trade for April 21st, 162.50 call at 225 is going to be in the money and highly profitable by then. So if we go to the April 21st and look at that contract, we got in at 2.25 and so far it is trading at 2.50. However, if we do get a retest at the 200 SMA line at 162.74 and then also potentially retest this supply zone right here at 163.20 area, there's a great chance this contract is going to be trading at 3.50, giving us another $100 of profit. So that's what we will be looking forward to going into tomorrow's session. Apple is looking really good in this bullish ascending triangle formation, and with a candle breakout into today's closing session, it looks like we have the setup to head towards 162.75 and retest the supply zone here at 163 before seeing a short-term pullback. So far, we are bullish on Apple towards 163.20 with a call position for April 21st, 162.50 call at 225. We also bought SPY calls right here at 1015, and we picked up the April 14, which is this week's expiration calls. We picked up the 408, we picked up the 409, I believe, yes, the 409. Yeah, we picked up the 409s at 3.10 and now they're trading at 3.60 and in after hours market trading at 3.77. So we are already up over $75 on this trade, and with price action trading at 410, it's looking like we're going to be up even more into tomorrow's trading session. So the reason why we picked up this 409 call is because we knew that SPY was trading inside of this consolidation base from 406.15 support towards 411.34. And what we did today was we basically bought calls at the bottom at 406.15, which I can show you from our alerts here on the day trade section. We bought SPY calls, 407 SPY calls, April 14. We bought them at 3.15 and we sold them at 3.65 and then again at 406. This was a really good trade, over $200 profit. We ended up getting back in on the dip when we saw that price action was clearly consolidating. We got back in on the pullback there, right here, and so far we are up nicely, and we're targeting 411.34 here. So even if Apple opens flat tomorrow, I think you would still have an early chance to enter the trade and make profits on that trade. Here's another trade that I'm looking at, which is Microsoft. Microsoft has a gap at 291.57. We had a nice double bottom reversal, which we bought calls at the very lows of day at 285.09 as a day trade. So we picked up Microsoft April 21st, 290 calls at 3.50. We sold the first contract at 3.80, and then we sold the second contract at 4.25. Now I did trade this back and forth, so I made some really good profits, over $250 profits, and this still looks good. And I think you will have a great opportunity to enter this trade to play the upside above 289.50 breakout towards at least 291.51 61 gap fill. So as long as we maintain this consolidation and we break above 289.50, this stock is going to see a $2.5 move towards 289.58 in a single day session. So keep your eyes out on Apple and Microsoft. So on the tech side of things, these are the two stocks that I want us to trade going into tomorrow's session. And then we also have banks that we are watching, which have earnings. So Bank of America is one of the stocks that I'm watching, which is trading inside of this inverse head and shoulders formation. When you have an inverse head and shoulders formation, what you're basically seeing is you had a lower low structure where the right shoulder was a lower low and then the head is another lower low. However, all of a sudden you have a higher low structure where this low is higher than this low right here, which creates a bullish characteristic. So when you have a higher low, a higher high is suspected, and if we do get a higher high structure, it's going to be this gap fill at 30.31. So price action is currently trading at 27. It has room all the way to 30. And this is just the short term. Here's how I want us to play Bank of America. Since the earnings is on Tuesday of next week, there are some stocks that have earnings this week that we can play Bank of America as a sympathy. So here's what we can do. We can probably buy Bank of America calls towards 30.31 since the stock is looking for a catalyst to see some upside. So if any of the earnings does good, then Bank of America is going to see some heavy upside. Another very, very great bank stock is WFC, which is Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo has earnings on Friday, pre-market also, just like JPM. And these setups are looking really, 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 really great, you guys. Like high probability trades. I mean, look at this one. JPM, another inverse head and shoulders with beautiful consolidation here, 3 days of accumulation, and it looks like they're going to print a massive green candle towards 130.24 area next, followed by some consolidation. And if earnings comes out good, this stock can go as far as 135 and 138. So 138 probably will be where I will dump most of my positions. But yeah, very, very, very high probability move on JPM. I'll be watching at least 132.21 retest into this week. So eyes out on Bank of America, JPM, as well as Wells Fargo. These stocks are going to be the big movers this week, especially going into their earnings. The banks really have a lot of breathing room to get some relief rallies. So keep your eyes out on Bank of America, JPM, BAC on the financials sector side, and then on the tech sector, keep your eyes out on Apple and Microsoft. These stocks are looking really, really good so far. And I'm very happy with the decision to get our members into this trade and looking forward to tomorrow's session. So looking at Apple, we have this massive gap on the 4-hour time frame with plenty of room to still go all the way up towards 164.67, which was Thursday's closing session, with Friday being a holiday. We got this trade at a nice price, and so far we are up $35, which means we have some leverage going into tomorrow's trading session. And we look forward to seeing Apple retesting the supply zone at 163 on the 30-minute and the 15-minute time frame. Same with Microsoft. If we look at Microsoft on the 30-minute time frame, it clearly shows that we have fuel, and what we have is that we took out this massive imbalance candle. We entered Microsoft here. We made some great profits taking out this massive imbalance candle, and so far we are consolidating and looking good for a massive breakout above the consolidation. So if I draw this base right above this consolidation, if I draw this base, as soon as we break above 289.52, you should expect major upside on Microsoft all the way towards 291.50 area. So this is what I will be watching on Microsoft for some nice day trades or scalp trades within the tech sector. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to our channel so that you get notifications to all of our contents. And we look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's video. Good luck to your trading session. Please be aware that it is CPI data, so you want to keep your positions very light. You want to prioritize risk management and protecting risk at all costs. This means that you avoid short-term contracts. You give yourself time. And take it easy, everyone. Have a wonderful day.